Hi, my name is Evan Cudden and my student number is 164478116, and this is my video presentation for the module MT201, which is operations. I'm doing a report on the supply chain and the process map of my chosen company, which is Cobra Doors Limited. Basically, Cobra Doors Limited is a SME, or a small medium enterprise. It's a family run business with only 3 employees, but that doesn't stop the supply chain playing a critical role in both their profitability and how they sustain from year to year. The supply chain is relatively simple. There's not many bodies compared to large companies such as Starbucks or McDonald's. Their first tier suppliers are DEA, who supply the motors for the garage doors, as Cobra Doors is primarily a garage door selling company. They sell the product garage doors and supply the installation. Paramount supply the materials, which is the lat, which undergo processes before becoming the actual physical garage door that you can see from the outside of a garage. And wholesale electrical suppliers sell the bits and bobs, the nuts and bolts that hold the door together. Their first tier customers are contractors, which would be building doors and install them themselves, and also Klein Garden Sheds, who do the same. And then their second tier suppliers, customers, would just be private individuals who are looking for garage doors on maybe businesses or family homes. The supply chain, Cobra Doors, and the main purpose of the supply chain, of everyone in the supply chain, is to satisfy the final consumer. And Cobra Doors are no exception to this. The processes that they put on their inputs that eventually become outputs are all done in order to create a perfect product for the consumer. In my report, I did a process map of all the processes that Cobra Doors complete, and the input, which is an accumulation of all the products given to them from their first and second tier suppliers. Cobra Doors do processes on this, which eventually create an output for consumers. For supply, because it's small, it means they can have a good rapport with the suppliers, which has good implications for the business. But you have to criticize the lack of suppliers, which means that they are kind of limiting themselves, in that they could have maybe more options for cheaper products, better quality, if they increase the amount of suppliers. Even though they only deal with one product, they could perhaps just use different suppliers and get bit by bit, and kind of bargain around with the different suppliers. And this would also mean, if their supplier, which is Paramount Doors, if they were to go bankrupt tomorrow, Cobra would have no second tier supplier for the actual parts of the door that they need, and they would have to find a new supplier. If they had multiple suppliers, they would that wouldn't be as much of an issue, because they could just increase the quantity being supplied from other suppliers. I would also recommend outsourcing instead of outsourcing. I mentioned earlier in terms of how Klein Garden Sheds and contractors do the supplying. If Cobra Doors were to do the supplying instead, it would increase vertical integration, which would prevent maybe disputes occurring in the future, and which could potentially satisfy the consumer even